Your Excellencies, dear colleagues, dear friends, I think everyone is of course rushing outside, but not yet, not yet. We'll have also some closing remarks. But yeah, indeed, we are now coming toward the end of the conference, and I think we have had quite a long day, a full day of engaging discussions covering a wide range of topics. It seems to me that we have answered to my foreign minister's call from this morning that we should rock and roll. So we have had tough questions, we have had great answers. As was already mentioned several times, this year our conference happens to take place only a few days after the Munich Security Conference, and the sense of urgency it's quite obvious. Well, during the day we explored the geopolitical context of EU enlargement, its impact on both the candidate countries and current member states, and the political sensitivities on all sides. We'll just also now address the broader issue of Black Sea security by examining how Russian aggression in Ukraine and also the enlargement policy have transformed the region. I think on enlargement, the conclusion is both clear and compelling. For the EU to truly matter under the current geopolitical situation, enlargement must continue at full speed. The concept of gradual integration is promising, but the final goal, of course, is full membership. And it's also very clear that candidate countries must fully commit to the values of the EU and the reforms required. Democracy and the rule of law should stay the backbones of the enlargement process, and of course, sharing the values, aligning with the EU's foreign security policy is extremely important as it demonstrates the candidate country's commitment. And in turn, of course, the EU must commit to rewarding those reforms and without allowing bilateral issues to hinder or even block the process. But of course, how to achieve avoiding blocking, I'm afraid it remains yet to be seen. But in any case, well, enlargement must be merit-based, as merit only is prerequisite for sound geopolitical decisions. And of course, we in this country, in Estonia, we know this very well from our own experience. It was also talked. Now I would like to thank Olesja Mamic for sharing with us the story of her family, the tragic story of Ukraine, her reflections on the sufferings caused by Russia's brutal war, both now and in the past, the empty corridors, broken lives and lost people. I think they were deeply moving, and a lot of us listened with tears in our eyes, myself included. In a few days, we will mark the grim third anniversary of the full-scale invasion. There is no other option for us in the West but to continue our strong support for Ukraine in every possible way. As was said in the morning, some things are just black and white, and Ukraine must prevail. Many thanks to all of our outstanding speakers for sharing your insights on the state of affairs as of February 2025. Also, extend the gratitude to the professional moderators, to the European Commission representation in Tallinn, and of course the ICDS, which has organized this conference for many years. Maybe some of you know that it was originally dedicated to the Eastern Partnership, but it has evolved with changing times, and since 2022 it is the Conference on Enlargement. I would especially like to thank Steven Blockmans, who has been the driving force behind this year's conference, and Keter Sarapuu, who managed all the logistical details. Many thanks to Swedish and Polish embassies, to other embassies, ambassadors who have cooperated with us, and of course to the colleagues in the Foreign Ministry. Last but not least, wholehearted thank you to all of you, the listeners who have participated. I really hope that you have enjoyed the conference. We didn't solve all the issues, which is good, because I can welcome you in Tallinn at the next conference. So thank you very much.
Okay, don't worry, it's gonna be not so long. I see so many sleepy faces and so many exhausted people. It was really a full day of discussion, and you deserve some good time after this conference. But first, I'd like to thank ICDS, Estonian Ministry of Foreign Affairs, European Commission office in Tallinn, and also Swedish Embassy. I don't see. Oh yeah, Charlotte. Okay, for organizing this event today. And by the way, this event is during Polish presidency, and it's a good occasion to say a few words about our plans for this 6 months ahead of us. But today's discussion in 4 panels showed that enlargement process should continue, and it is responsibility for the EU, the member states, and also responsibility for the candidate countries to enlarge. The EU should be strong and act as a real power in the areas of economy, security, and values. I'm sure that neither EU member states, neither EU Commission, neither candidate countries are not exhausted like us by the enlargement process, which is sometimes difficult, sometimes looks too long, but at the end the EU full membership brings prosperity, security, and stability for the whole European continent. In the current overall challenging geopolitical situation, enlargement remains at the forefront on the EU's policy agenda. The Polish presidency supports a merit-based enlargement of the EU. Now more than ever, welcoming new members is a geostrategic investment for our future. The objective of the Polish presidency is to make overall progress in the enlargement process, both in the eastern direction and with regard to the Western Balkans, in accordance with the merit-based approach, respecting and committing to promote the values on which the EU is founded, and meeting the obligations required for EU membership continue to be essential for all partners who aspire to join. The Council remains committed to bringing partners closer to the EU, preparing the ground for accession and bringing concrete benefits to their citizens already during the enlargement process. We welcome the progress on gradual integration achieved over the past year and look forward to examining further proposals by the Commission. In this regard, the Ukraine facility, the growth plans for Western Balkans, and the Moldova play a key role. With a view to the prospect of a further enlarged union, both the EU and future member states need to be ready. It is important that aspiring members step up their reforms efforts. In parallel, the EU needs to lay the necessary internal groundwork and reforms as stated in the Grenada Declaration and the European Council Strategic Agenda. In this context, the presidency is looking forward to the publication of pre-enlargement policy reviews by the Commission this semester. And at the end, I will not wish you a fruitful discussion, but I'd like to thank you for this fruitful discussion today. And also, I'd like to thank Steve for organizing this discussion and to asking very, very tough questions sometimes. And I'd like to invite at the end to the small reception offered by the Polish embassy and Polish presidency. And I'm looking forward to see you all next year for the next edition of this enlargement conference. Thank you.